Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 4 of your Technology and War course, The Birth of the Atomic Age. So, this week we're going to do quite a bit of in depth dive into the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, understanding a little bit of the historical context around that, the birth of nuclear weapons, and what it is like to live in the early nuclear era. With a little bit of relation to Oppenheimer as well. Many of you have probably seen the movie. It is one of the movies that is available for you to watch for your paper, and your film reflection might be a good time to rewatch it as you go through this class. I personally, as you see with my co-author Anna Pluff in this week, have written a bit on this in a few different places and really dug through the archives of the Rand Corporation, University of Chicago, some of the presidential libraries to kind of understand this moment in the early nuclear era and what it meant for technology and war, especially for the kind of scientists involved. Those of you that have taken or will take my US foreign policy class, we do a bit of a deeper dive into the scientists and engineers of the Manhattan Project than we're going to do today. But really, really fascinating to see their views and opinion. And I think the Oppenheimer movie overall shows a pretty good depiction of what that is like. So in addition to reading John Hersey's Hiroshima, which is, a very, very powerful and difficult to read piece kind of kicking off the week, you get to see the kind of beginning of the nuclear era and what that looks like through a history of bombing. And, one of the most forgotten wars, the Korean War, and what that meant for the kind of framing of the early Cold War period, the role of the United Nations, and then the beginning of mutually assured destruction. I think the podcast this week as well is quite fascinating on Strategic Air Command. So this is the command that was in charge of nuclear weapons. A great interview. Instead of reading Dr. Deal's book, you get a 30-minute interview with him, and I think it does a really good job of kind of summarizing what that is like. And then finally, I wanted to give you a little bit more, because we can't do it all, and obviously I'm a big nuke nerd, as you can see from my shirt, my nuclear gravity bomb hanging on by a thread from the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, to look at Semipalatinsk. So looking at the way in which the Soviets conducted the largest nuclear bomb tests ever on the planet. Their hydrogen bomb tests up to 50 megatons. For reference point, 15 kilotons was the Hiroshima bomb. And also a little work by a Kazakh scholar, Tagzan Casanova, looking at banning nuclear testing. So kind of understanding in this important moment the importance of nuclear testing and the fallout and the kind of damage that it caused to many communities in Kazakhstan. As well as here in the United States, there's still fights ongoing for the downwinders, people who were impacted by nuclear testing in the 1950s and 1960s, especially in Nevada and New Mexico in that area. So it should be a pretty depressing week as always. We expect nothing less from technology and war. So I look forward to giving you your lecture this week and really hearing what you have to say about the discussion. So I hope you enjoy.